What's going on, you guys? Laxo here again. Alright, so there are a couple things I actually want to cover here in this video. The first thing being is a little retraction I want to make. I accidentally messed up on Kira's kit, so I'm going to make a correction on that. Second thing I want to do is I want to take a look at Squaboss and see how effective Kira can be in Squaboss, and then I'm going to show you what the damage is with and without Kira, and the final, probably like second half of this video, is just going to be the Squaboss battle I have with Kira in it. So, with that being said, guys, if you guys want to skip around to any part of the video, check the description below. I will have all the timestamps laying out, and you can skip around to wherever you'd like. First things first, let's go ahead and hop into a retraction I have to make here. Turns out, when I went over his rage skill, I accidentally messed up. Actually, let's take a look here. So soaked is a debuff that is applied to the enemy, not a buff that is applied to Kira. So when it says after being critically hit, incoming crit damage is increased by 60%, the way I initially read it was after Kira is critically hit, all damage after that, crit damage, is increased by 60%. That is incorrect. That is a debuff for the enemy, which means after the enemy is critically hit, all incoming crits after that are increased by 60%. So that only adds to what I was saying prior and trying to explain how good he is. That only adds to that of how more good he is, because I was misreading his kit before. So he's actually really good. He's a team buffer, not just a self buffer. So really good. I'm actually happy that I misread it before, because I was like, man, this is just too finicky. So I'm actually really pleased with how he is now. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop into Squaboss here. So the first battle I'm going to show you here is the battle without Kira. Actually, let's take a look at Yoruichi here, just so you guys understand that the damage I have from Yoruichi is kind of all over the place because I have her Warsouls on. So obviously I have Fan Warsaul on, which, as you can see, before using rage attack, crit, and so each time you hit with a rage skill, crit chance, crit strength is increased by 20%. Maximum 20%. But by the time we get to the big numbers, it's already going to be max. So you'll see gradual increase in numbers. So I'm going to see a full loop of her rage attack, just so we can get the full benefit of what we're seeing here. And of course, the Warsaul balance is just the Warsaul balance. So anyways, let's check out the first battle here I'm going to show you. Is a battle with, as you can see, just the Soul Hall with Nell. And I put in Stark just because he doesn't add or subtract any damage overall. He's just an extra bleed unit. So as you can see here, 3.3. Let's take a look at the second loop, actually. So the second loop is her initial hit is going to be 9.3. And then her second hit is going to be 4.0. Third hit is going to be 4.0. So 9.3, 4.0, 4.0. Now, let's take a look here with Kira. So, with Kira, as we can see, same team comp, I just swapped out Kira. Same buffs and everything. So, everything is pretty much flat even. Alright. Let's wait for the second rage loop here. Here we are. Okay, so 9.3 was the initial hit. Without Kira, we're looking at 11.4. So just right there, it is a 2 million damage buff just from the initial rage hit. Now, from the follow-up, I believe it was 4.0. 5.0. So now we're looking at 5 mil crits. That is with the Kira buff. So that extra 60% increased crit damage is, as you can see, it's about 1 million per hit on the follow-up. And The initial is right here. Boom. 11.0. So it's a 2 million damage buff, or 2 million damage increase on the initial hit. So overall, you get 3 Shunkos, and the initial, you're looking at 3 million, 4 million. You're looking at 5 million increased damage just by having Cure on the field from not having Cure on the field. However, that is specifically for Yoruichi. Alright, so let's actually, I think that's pretty much everything I want to cover. Let's just take a look at my squad boss battle here now. So I did I don't really feel like it's super ideal to do the squad boss battle and always try and get the max damage rage loop because it just takes too long. So what I've been doing is I've just been hitting the auto button and letting it fly. So let's take a look at some logs here. So I was just doing a couple I just did, my auto and did 337, which is extremely low. And then I actually, put in Cura, and then I did the full, let's just watch the battle here. And I did the full actual battle, and I ended up with 500 mil, so. But this is after a couple tries, because, surprise, surprise, turns out Yoruichi and her Shunko attacks, I think they've been like nerfed to the ground because it's so difficult to get any Shunko attacks with her now, so. However, the question you have to ask yourself here is it worth to put there you go, let's go like that. So the question you have to ask here is it worth putting Cura in there? And the answer is, well, how much damage do you lose? So what I was doing prior to this is I was running Kid Byakuya and Neni and Rukia. And then in my backline, I was running Gin as usual. I was running Yoruichi and Dangai Ichigo. And again, my average is probably around 400. Sometimes if I get some pretty good, or if I get pretty lucky, I can get up to 500 mil on just an average run. And then without, if I just hit auto and I get really low, I can go down to like 300 mil, which is the lowest of the low. That's why 337 is really, really low for me. But as long as I get over that 275 or whatever it is, I don't really care. So. But as you can see, the Shunko attacks with Yoruichi here are very finicky. They don't always work. And I'm not a big fan of this strat of, well, if I don't get Shunko attack, let's restart the battle, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't like doing that, so I'd rather just hit auto and then, I don't know, do something else for 3-4 minutes and then just move on from there, so.
ランサドール・ゲルド。
もうちょっと捕まってって。
往生際の悪いやつ。
Oh,
往生際の悪いやつ。
speaking of which, I actually went ahead and picked up the Kira Warsoul. I had a couple extra pulls, so I did some extra pulls. I got his Warsoul, and then I spent even more Omni Shards, and I got his Warsouls to purple. And then I got the skill specialty roll on it as well. So that was convenient. So I put that on him. And now he is running with his Warsoul because, surprise, surprise, Kira's Warsoul actually works really, really well on him. Especially because his Warsoul lowers the crit resistance of the enemy. And his kit is based off, well, soaked. Gives you extra damage after they've been crit, so that's what you're pretty much looking for. But this was the, believe it or not, I actually spent like 20 or 30 minutes, maybe not 20, maybe like 20, maybe like 15 minutes or so, just trying to get one actual rage loop out of Yoruichi, and I finally got one full rage loop out of her, so I actually managed to get over 500 mil damage out of this, because once again, I'm pretty sure Oasis, they shadow debuffed Yoruichi and her Shunko attack, because it used to be 80%. And 80% is pretty much all the time, but actually, as a matter of fact, here, I'm gonna pull off Squaboss here for a second. As you can see, just to get one loop, it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 6th try, I finally got past one Shunko loop. It took me 6 tries to get more than, you know, to get that 80% chance to proc. And then it took me 1, 2, 3, 4 tries to get it to proc again. So, I mean, prior to this, I think the first video I ever showed you guys of the rage loop I did with Yoruichi, it was only my first or second attempt, and I got like 3 or 4 full rage loops. So, I mean, it's been talked about for a while in the community that she's been nerfed, and I think it's pretty solid evidence and proof that yes, she got nerfed, and she got nerfed hard, so it is what it is, though. But yeah, Kira isn't too bad. His damage is a little low, but we don't really. If we were to run him in Squaboss, it wouldn't be for his massive damage. It would just be for his extra 60% crit damage buff, which once again works really, really well with Nenny, and that's why I wanted to give him a shot, because hey, he runs pretty well with Nenny, and he is a different character you could put in this lineup other than Anniversary Ichigo. So went ahead and did that. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look here at the final numbers here. Right, here we are. Hope this is... Alright, that should be good enough to read. So as we can see, Yoruichi did 316 mil, and Kira, as expected, only did 51, and Gin did 110, which is a little low, but I think his average is around 110 or so, so average for him. And then obviously all your damage came out of Yoruichi. Absolutely nothing came out of Nell. Yep, I think that is pretty much a good example of what you should expect if you run Kira in a squad boss team. He doesn't bring a ton, but at the same time, he brings enough to make him usable. So I would personally prefer just to stick with Ichigo because you get that extra rage, so you can rage loop a little bit more. But then again, my Yoruichi is
戦士が
really
命
kind
乞
of
いを
bare
するも
bones,
の
to
じ
be
ゃない
honest. I don't really have too much invested into
無
Yoruichi
事じゃ
here.
案ずるな
Yeah, she's not really pretty bare bones. But anyways, I think that's gonna actually wrap it up for this one, guys. The next video, which I'm also going to post here in a little bit, is going to be going over their Warsouls. I'm going to check out Kira's Warsoul and all the event Warsouls and give you my thoughts on those as well. I have 2 of them up pretty high, so we're gonna take a look at that. And then the third one, I can see what it is max. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that next. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys have already subscribed, smash the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, hit that like button as well. And I will. Oh, if you guys also want to chit chat, hit me up on the Discord as well. I'm getting a lot of comments on my videos, so it's tough for me to keep up, especially because it's summertime and I'm really busy during this time of year. So hit me up on Discord if you need me, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.